everyone, welcome back to Lemonade and Bits with Sheil. I'm Sheil, and this is the channel where we talk a little bit about life, a little bit about love, a little bit about relationships, sometimes a little bit about my opinion, but most of all, offer a little bit of encouragement. Thank you for joining me today for a glass of lemonade and to talk about our topic for today, which is changes versus transformation. Now, this is something I've talked about over the years a lot, but in these last few months, then I've talked with more people about it, and I was thinking, I was like, well, this would be a great thing to discuss because I talk to people a lot, and just try to get a take on things that they things that concern them and things that they think about. So. And this is one of the more recent conversations that I had about change versus transformation. Now, that change is something that we hear all the time. People are like, I need to change, or they changed, or, just about people and their behavior and their habits and how that change happens. And so, but there is, over the years, especially the last 2 years, even in things going on with myself, I've learned the difference. It's a difference between change and transformation. First of all, change it influences actions. So a person can change something about them. They can do something different, and it may or may not be about them. It may or may not exude from the inside, because sometimes people will say they change or they change their actions to solely to please other people. Let's say someone said they don't like something that someone is doing, and they would try to change that behavior. However, because it doesn't come from the inside, then it makes it a little more difficult, and that's why with change, when we think of change and we use the word change, then sometimes people can revert back to their old habits or their old behavior based on where that idea of change came from. So that's one thing. So that's about change. Change influences actions. Now, transformation, on the other hand, begins on the inside. It begins with your mind, and it begins with your heart, and it is about self-evaluation. And transformation is solely about you. It's about you allowing yourself to open up, and allowing yourself to be willing to do what is necessary for you to be different, for you to for your habits to be different. So it'll be a total change. It'll be a transformation. Now, here's an example between change and transformation. Let's talk about a cube of ice. Now, you could take a cube of ice, which is in solid form, and you could take it out, and if you leave it out, that same cube of ice that was frozen solid, it will change into water. It'll change back to water. That same cube, if you put it back in the freezer, it'll change back to ice. So that's changed. It changed. It's changed its form. It just reverted back and forth between it's either water or ice. Now, transformation. Let's talk about a cake. With a cake, you have flour, eggs, oil, sugar, all these ingredients that go into making a cake. Now, once that cake is made, I don't care how long you leave it out on the table, it will not change back into flour, eggs, oil, though all those individual ingredients. It will not do that. That cake, that flour, eggs, and oil, it was transformed into a cake. That ice was not transformed into water, or that water was not transformed in ice. It just reverted back to whatever the conditions were around it. So that's the difference between change and transformation. So transformation influences your habits. Now, and the Bible tells us to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So God tells us about transformation. So, versus change. God wants us to be transformed by the renewing of our mind, and that's why it's so important for us to be people that are considered to be changed. Okay, so it's a difference. And the reason transformation is so important for us First of all, for us to be better people. When we allow ourselves to, to be changed from the inside out, let's put it that way. It starts on the inside, and it starts with our heart. So the things that, the thoughts that we used to have about people, about ourselves, the way we used to view things, our perspectives, and how we judge things, and all those things will change with transformation. We'll be transformed, into someone that thinks totally different, and that's just a totally different person as far as the way we treat people, the way we handle situations, the way we handle difficulties, the way we allow God to, be the most in our lives. That's transformation. And total transformation only happens when we allow God to do the work in us. And that's important. And that's what has happened with me over the years, because yes, I used to think, I'm still very opinionated. But however, over the years, God has really made a transformation in me. And that's why, and I talk to people about it all the time, because it is so important. The second reason that transformation is important, because we have to be able to relate to people. God made us. He put us here for one another. And if we don't allow him to do a work in us that will reach someone else, that will help somebody else, that will inspire somebody else, encourage someone else, then we're not a help to each other. So transformation is important for that, in order to help others. So first of all, it helps us to be better. Second of all, it helps us, it allows people to see us in a better way, that we may be a help to them. So that's what all of this is about. So yes, we should be transforming all along. It's so important to us to be the best people that we can be in our lives. And let me tell you this real quick about change, because people will, I heard people say it, 1,000 times. Oh, people can't really change. People don't change. It's a bad wind, don't never change. People don't change. Yes, people can. And yes, people do. And the main people that say, people don't change, they're exactly who they are. Those are the same people, if you turn around, and they will turn right around and tell you a story about how they changed in their life. So can't nobody change but them. They'll sit there, I changed. I used to be like this. But in the next breath, they'll say, people don't really change. People, you can be transformed. Yes, changes do. And I'm not saying people can't just, change their behaviors or their actions. Sure, they can. It's a lot of work. But what is really important is transformation, because that begins on the inside. It's more than just about that action. It's about your habits. It's about your mindset. It's about your heart. It's about all the things on the inside versus, changing an action that you do. So I just want to encourage you today and just let you know, just remember, change influences action. Transformation influences habits. So transformation is the confirmation of change. And so I just want to encourage you today to put your best foot forward as we move into this new chapter in our lives. We begin on this new journey in 2021. And just want to encourage you to open up yourself and allow yourself to be the best person that you can be. Not only for you, but for those people around you that are depending on you, and that God placed you in their lives and on this earth, to help them and be an encouragement to them. So I encourage you to open up and let transformation begin in your life, that you may have the best life that you can have. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on Lemonade and Bits with Sheila. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and you guys subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.